Hello.
Hello.
What's up, Max?
Nothing. What's up with you?
All right. I've come to talk to you because I've made a grave mistake in my life.
Okay.
So last year,
Yeah.
during the summer, I was working at a McDonald's and I met somebody there, my coworker, who after becoming pretty close with them, said they wanted to move in with me, and I said, "Sweet." So we did it in October of last year, and the first 2 months went by pretty well. But there was one caveat, and that was that they were late on like just numerous bills, not like all of them, but just something here and there, like the electricity bill 1 month and then the rent another month. 4 out of 5 months of our first time living there, and this was something that I wasn't too unhappy about at the time because I had money and I could cover it. But the rental deposit was 5 months late. And the only reason that we were allowed to move in was because the landlord's my uncle. And so at the end of those 5 months, I told him, I
Your
said,
your uncle?
yeah, my uncle was the
Okay.
landlord. And at the end of those 5 months, I told him, I'm like, hey, listen, like if you don't, like you're lucky I didn't kick you out. Like a normal person would have kicked you out. Um, and that was the first time I had threatened his living situation. The second time was because in an agreement that we made with the landlord, because there is no lease. In the agreement that we made with the landlord, we get a $200 discount on our rent if
Were you
we
banging this person?
no, um, just a friend from work. Um, we were. I mean, it never really got to that. It never would have. I guess I'm saying. But the second time I threatened to kick them out was because they broke this agreement that said that we would get a $200 discount on our rent if we. Uh,
All right, baby. I don't know what happened, but they're gone. Let's just keep it going. How do I get on the show? Oh, you would join the Discord. Discord.gg/mrgirl and talk to baby in the request channel. He left the call. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. We're gonna see what happens next, though, baby. Oh yeah. It's the hotline. Yeah. Oh hey, you're back.
I'm so sorry. I guess my push to talk button closed out of Discord, so it
Okay,
turned
what's
it off.
going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's the rest of the story?
So the second time, as I said, agreement with the landlord, $200 rent on the discount on the rent if they helped take care of like the yard and weeds and just general like outside maintenance. Um, and this was like a thing that we kind of had to do, right? Uh, and they weren't willing to do it because I guess the problem that they were having with me was that I wasn't like doing little things to help out around the house, like do dishes. Um,
Hey, what's the point of this story?
okay, so eventually, he exploded on me and said that he was going to move out, and like break the agreement that we had.
Your
And
uncle?
no, the roommate.
Okay.
The roommate threatened to, well, basically said that they were going to move out by the end of the month.
I thought the
And
roommate was a girl.
roommate is a trans man, female to male.
Did they
So
transition
if
during the story?
yeah, so you'll hear me jumble. the
Okay,
pronouns
okay,
up a little
okay,
bit.
okay, okay.
And in the state that I live in, right, and I'm pretty sure this goes for most states in the U.S. Like what we had going on was a verbal contract that would have been considered legally binding. So even though there wasn't a lease, um, what they were doing was illegal. And so we got into this big fight, and he like refused to meet with me in person. And I said like, hey, like if you don't stay, I'm gonna have to take you to court for that money that you're gonna owe me for the rent that you would have had to pay.
Right on.
And then I find out a month later we get into another fight. I'm not gonna give you I'll spare you the details of that fight, but
Yeah, we
he
got to get
tells
through
me,
this.
yeah, right. He tells me that he lied about moving out because he just wanted me to listen to him to do the dishes or like just little things like that. And so he lied about moving out and put me through like 2 weeks of high stress living, uh, just to get me to like help out around the house. And I don't know how to feel about that because like after that whole thing, after threatening to move out like illegally, I kind of didn't really want to live with this person anymore. But at the same time, as of right now, like I can afford to live by myself, but it would be really nice if I didn't have to do that money wise. Um, and so like I'm kind of on edge. Like the third fight that we got into, I threatened to kick them out again. But it's not really threats. It's more like me saying, listen, if I were literally anybody else, like you would be gone. You know, your next
That's what
roommate's
your
gonna
uncle
hate you.
said to you.
Right. Exactly.
You have a
Exactly.
chain of bad boundaries leading to you treating your uncle badly, and then your friend treating you badly.
I,
And we even
and
know where you learned it.
well, my uncle doesn't really know about a lot of it. I called my uncle.
Your uncle is being a pussy.
Well, so I think the problem is I haven't really told my uncle what's going on other than that, hey, my roommate is trying to move out. What do I have to say to them, uh, like to protect myself legally here? And that's the only real phone call that we ever had. And then I
I know,
sat
but your
down with him a
uncle
month
let
later.
you live there for 5 months without you putting a security deposit down.
Right. You are right about that.
See? Do you see how this gets passed down from generation to generation, and now you've learned this behavior. You need to unlearn it now, which is why you've come here to me, for me to
so
tell you that you shouldn't let somebody live in your house for free, and neither should your uncle.
so the situation now is that
And you
I
should
mean
go be homeless for 5 months to make up for this.
um, the bills are getting paid on time now. The problem is just that we fight all the time, and he kind of tried to like screw me over with the whole moving out thing. And so I'm waiting until October of this year, and I'm going to tell him like, hey, listen, you're out. You know,
Bud,
you can't
it's
just you
May.
can't just
It's May 21st.
right.
I don't think this is a satisfactory resolution.
I don't think so either, which is I guess that's the reason why I'm coming to you because I don't really know what to do. Because like,
Well, it sounds like you know what I'm going to say.
repeat it for me just in case, because I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not.
I think you should kick this person out so that you can have a roommate who doesn't make you feel unsafe in your own house.
Now, what if I were to tell you that I don't really think I have any contenders for another roommate other than like a stranger that I met on Craigslist, which I'm not really comfortable with?
Then
Do
you
you
should,
think that it would be worth it for me to
yeah.
just tough
I,
it out? And
no, I think you should either live by yourself or rent to a stranger on Craigslist.
okay, all right,
I honestly,
maybe.
I think you'll find if you put an ad out and some like 35-year-old like female scientist who's like, oh yeah, I work all day. I get up at 6 in the morning. I go to work and I come back at like 9 p.m. I go to bed. Here's first, last, and security, and you're never gonna see me. You're probably gonna be like, oh, you know what? This actually is kind of nice.
Maybe like I'm younger, right? Like I'm 20 years old, and so
I
I
know.
don't know if I have. Yeah, I don't. It's pretty obvious, but I don't know
I
if I have
lived
the
with a
experience.
lawyer when I was 23 years old. I had a female lawyer as a roommate. She was 42.
I guess, and you'd probably agree with. I guess the only way to find out is for me to just try it.
I said there were four of us living in this apartment, but she was the only one who I was like super horny for. And I said, is it going to bother you if I walk back and forth to the bathroom naked in the middle of the night? And I texted her this, and she said, that's fine, but I'm going to set up a motion capture camera in the hallway.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing like that's going on here. It's more just.
That's because you're 20. You're not 23 yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you can find some pretty normal people on Craigslist who are going to be way less this person is not a good person to have as a roommate.
Yeah,
way worse than the average person. You could literally pick a random person from Craigslist, and the odds are you're going to do much better than you're doing now. And like, just hold the boundary. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be mean. You can just say,
I never really am.
Yeah, I could see that. But just be like, hey, like, I don't think this is working out. I want you to move out, and we'll still be buddies, but no more business entanglements because this has been a nightmare.
I'll give it, and this is gonna sound like such a pussy cop out, but I'll give it another month. If something happens again, and I guarantee you it will.
What I'm saying is I think you already don't feel safe in the situation.
Yeah.
So even if nothing happens for the next 4 months, you're going to spend those 4 months feeling unsafe and bad. And I think
Wouldn't you agree though that it would be a much cleaner process for both of us if I had like a real reason?
I think again, if you think it would be cleaner process for your roommate, I don't think it's cleaner for you to allow somebody who treats you like shit and steamrolls you to live in your house.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I don't know. A lot of it is me coping because
yes,
like I said, I fucked up.
You don't want to end up like your uncle, kid.
Maybe
You've
not.
seen where that got him. You don't want to end up like
he lives in a beautiful house, and
oh yeah,
he collects money for me every month in my shitty
He's
little
probably
property.
a pussy whipped doormat.
Maybe.
All
right, well, that's
You want to live in a beautiful house, forking all your money over to some woman who fucking tells you what you have to do all the time, then you go ahead and live your life that way. I'm telling you, you're at the crossroads, bucko. This is where you can grab life by the balls and twist.
I'm just holding out for 2 months when my girlfriend graduates college. That's when no, not 2 months, 2 years. When my girlfriend graduates college in 2 years, I'm just gonna live with her, assuming everything goes well.
Ask your girlfriend's boyfriend if it's okay with him if you kick your roommate out. Jesus fucking Christ.